What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTP Sports. That is more like it. The Phillies bounced back from last night, and they managed to win today. And Michael Lorenzen in his Phillies debut was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't give enough credit to what Michael Lorenzen did today, and especially with, no bullpen help today, because you knew with all the arms that you used last night, with the extra innings and all of that, that not many guys were going to be available because a lot of guys threw a lot of pitches and everything like that. So it's like even, times a billion on the effort that Michael Lorenzen put out today because he was just flat out spectacular. Going 8 innings, strong, very efficient, getting quick outs, just basically putting the Marlins down. He gives up a couple of runs, but at the end of the day, it means nothing at that point because your Phillies found a way to get a win. JT Realmuto, in his return to the lineup after being off the past couple of days with the hand injury, goes deep. Nice, huge 2-run shot. Brandon Marsh comes up with the bases loaded, scores a couple of runs there, and basically that was it. Phillies played some nice defense. Trey Turner kind of had a scare on one of the pop-ups that he had. There was a pop-up to the mound. Everyone, I guess Trey was calling it off. Lorenzen had to get out of the way. And then Trey Turner trips over the mound as he's catching the ball. I'm like, oh, God, he even had to make that more difficult. But I'm not going to harp on that. And at the end of the day, the set goal was to come in for a series win against a division opponent that you were fighting for a wild card spot for. As frustrating as yesterday was, I will take the series win any day of the week and run with it. So for yesterday's performance, I am going to crumble that piece of paper up and throw it into the trash can. We're going to completely forget about it and look more for a series win and to try to continue this stretch against some, easier opponents coming up, especially with this 10-game homestand. The Kansas City Royals this weekend, who actually are on a 6-game winning streak after sweeping the New York Mets, but the Mets, they basically waved the white flag at the trade deadline, so I'm assuming that team just doesn't care anymore. But yes, the Royals have won 6 games, but you should be able to handle the Kansas City Royals. They're on par with the Oakland Athletics for one of the worst teams in baseball. Doesn't matter how hot they are, you should be able to take advantage of that team. Win 2 out of 3, a sweep at this point. You should be able to sweep the Kansas City Royals. Then you're going to have a 4-game series with the Washington Nationals. They won a series last time in Citizens Bank Park, and maybe now it's time to return the favor. Go out and kick their asses. And then you're going to have the Minnesota Twins to close out that stretch. A little bit of a tougher opponent just because of their pitching, but still, they play in that NL Central. It's not the toughest division in the world, even though I said that about the Cleveland Guardians, and we all know how that turned out. But still, it is a 10-game stretch where I am, I'm asking for 7-3. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair request of this Phillies team over the next 10 games. 7-3. I think that's very respectable. I think that's very, very fair to me. I won't take 6-4, even though that's still a positive record. I think you can go at least 7-3 in this next 10-game stretch, especially if you take advantage of the Royals and the Nationals. I think that's very, very, very possible. Very possible. I think that's a very respectable and fair thing to ask of this team. I'm not sure what Rob Thompson's going to be doing with Trey Turner this weekend. Does he, give Trey Turner some time off these next few games against a weaker opponent? I don't think he's going to, because that's just not how Rob is. He puts a lot of faith into his guys, and he really believes, when they're struggling, they'll find a way to get out of it. Trey Turner was dropped to the 8-hole in this game. Still didn't really do much, so that's just how lost he is. At this point, I'm feeling bad for the guy. I know I went off completely on him yesterday, but at the end of the day, I feel bad for him. I feel so bad. Seeing his interview last night, just guy looked like he was about to burst into tears. Like, that's just how lost he is right now. Lost in his head, got the yips. It's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I just don't think we're going to be seeing a good Trey Turner this year. If he finds a way to figure it out at some point, like seriously, even if Trey Turner was just like a C or a C-, it would still be better than what he's giving off right now. It's just, sadly, it's that, terrible first year that he's going through, and I just don't think he's going to find his way out of it. I think it's just that. But still, I feel like the biggest story of today is just you can't, give enough credit, like I said, to Michael Lorenzen. Because Dave Dombrowski, he went out with the trade deadline, got 2 pieces, that's it. And he was really focused on, bolstering the starting rotation and, giving a long guy out of the bullpen, which Michael Lorenzen can do both of those things. The innings definitely are concerned because he's definitely getting closer to his career high in innings. But, with the way they used him today, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's going to be a problem because he looked so sharp. He looked so efficient. He looked very good. Very good. He's not going to overpower you with anything. He's going to rely on the weak contact. He's going to rely on his defense. And today it worked. And it's been working for him all year. It's been working for him all year. And I think there was a stat. I'm not sure what it was like specifically. I think it was like I think since May or since June, besides Blake Snell, no one has a lower ERA in baseball than Michael Lorenzen. So it just shows you how good he has been this year. He was an all-star for the Detroit Tigers. Say what you want about, being the lone all-star for the Detroit Tigers. Yes, they're not a good team, and every single team in baseball needs at least one representative at the all-star game. But, Lorenzen earned it. He earned it. And he has been pitching very well this year, and he was just as advertised in this first start. Dude's an inning eater. He goes out there, just gets the job done. And that's exactly what he did today. In a game that they needed to win. In a game that, you really didn't have any bullpen help. Not many guys were available. He goes out there and gives you 8 strong innings. 8 strong innings. Like, that's an amazing debut. And it's funny, too, because I also saw this other stat about, Phillies pitchers this year and, the length they have gone. How deep in the ball games. I'm going to try to see that stat. Yeah, this is from John Foley. So this is the number of 8-inning starts for the Phillies pitchers in 2023. Zack Wheeler only has 1 in 22 games pitched. Aaron Nola has 1 in 22 games pitched. Taijuan Walker has 1 in 22 games pitched. Ranger Suarez has 0 in 15. Christopher Sanchez 0 in 9. And Bailey Falter is 0 in 8. Michael Lorenzen pitched 8 innings in his first appearance in a Phillies uniform. Efficiency. That's all. It's basically the entire thing of that. Very efficient. His entire stat line, 8 innings, 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and a home run allowed. Not too shabby. He threw 101 pitches, 72 strikes. Dude was just pounding the strike zone. He was getting swings and misses. He was getting weak contact. Basically all game. Very, very good stuff from Michael Lorenzen. I loved what I saw from him. If we look at the lineup today, Kyle Schwarber definitely did have a rough series, not going to lie. Was struggling to make contact at all. He was still walking throughout the series, when he was going through that stretch of walking a lot. The past couple of games, he really hasn't been seeing it well at the plate. 0 for 4 for Schwarber, 2 strikeouts. Alec Boehm is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4 in this game. 294 batting average, 386 on base, so he's still finding ways to get on base. Nick Castellanos, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Bryson Stott, 0 for 3 with an RBI. No, actually with a walk, no, not an RBI. JT Realmuto went 2 for 4, 2 RBI, 2 runs shot. Nice to see there. Maybe, could this possibly be, even though we set this, a little bit with the All-Star break, just maybe these, like what happened last year, when he wasn't able to travel with the team to Toronto because of the whole COVID vaccination crap. If, after those 2 off days when he wasn't able to be with the team, he led this, after that stretch, after those 2 games, he basically became a different ball player because he sucked in that first half last year. And then he transformed entirely for the second half, and he led the MLB in OPS. Could we see a stretch like that from JT? It would be very much needed, and I would very much appreciate if he did that. It's not guaranteed. He had a good showing at the plate today. Nice home run to the opposite field. It's always good when JT's showing that opposite field power, but it's basically just wait and see at this point. Brandon Marsh, huge bases loaded single, 2 RBIs there, 1 for 3 on the day. Trey Turner 0 for 3 in the 8 hole, and Jake Cave went 0 for 2. Castro did get a pinch hit appearance today. That was with, that chance to put more runs on the board when the Marlins brought out Puck, the lefty on the mound. He worked a good count. Just got rung up on a very nasty pitch, like right on the inside corner of the plate. So I'm not really going to complain much there. He worked a nice count, so it's a solid first at bat for your Phillies debut. I'm sure he'll probably get some starts in this Kansas City series. I'm sure it's depending on if there's a lefty on the mound. You just gotta wait and see. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in that standpoint, but overall, you got the win. That's all that matters. You did struggle to hit off of Johnny Cueto, though. I was kind of bothered by that. He only had 6 hits in this game, but basically both teams' offenses really weren't able to do much. The Phillies were just able to capitalize more, and that's the most important thing in that aspect. Phillies went 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They left 2 runners on base, and the Marlins, they went 0 for 4, and they left 5 runners on base. So there you go. There you go. And Lorenzen was actually able to keep Luis Arraez in check. Only allowed 1 hit. Shocking, and he struck him out once. I honestly, I've never seen Luis Arraez struck out. I'm sure he struck out a bunch of times this year, but it's odd when a guy that's batting near 400 strikes out. It's just a odd phenomenon in my honest opinion. Soler went 1 for 4. Josh Bell, of course, he got a walk in this game. It just feels like every time, just with last night, Josh Bell against the rest of the league is just pure crap. But then when he sees the Philadelphia Phillies, he salivates. Gotta play those Phillies. Gotta hit against those Phillies. Boy, do I love hitting against the Phillies. Do I love doing some type of damage. Jazz went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Berger went 0 for 4. De La Cruz went 2 for 4 with a solo shot. Sanchez 1 for 4. But the bottom part of their lineup, 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 combined. So that was nice to see. That was nice to see because we struggled against their bottom part of the lineup the past couple of games. So that definitely was much nice to see there. And now if we're looking at the standings right now with the wild card, Phillies are now in sole possession of that second wild card spot. They are a game and a half above the Miami Marlins, so they got some breathing room from this series, winning 3-4, so that's very nice to see. They're a game ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're a game behind the San Francisco Giants for the first wild card spot there. The Giants, they've currently won 2 in a row because they are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks, so I'm assuming that's been a 4-game series. So they're definitely giving a lot of teams some breathing room with the Diamondbacks as well. Phillies, I would assume they're 2 games ahead of the Diamondbacks in the standings. And if the Giants were to win, it would be a game and a half or 2.5 games. So that would be nice. That would be nice. Be very, 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 very nice. That's basically all that's it today. Got some good traction in the wild card standings this series. That's basically all you can ask for. I'll throw last night's loss in the trash. That travesty, even though there's going to be that thought in the back of my mind saying, you should have swept this series. You should have swept this series. But I'll take 3 or 4. Winning series is the most important thing. Sweeping is a cherry on top. And you found a way to win a series. 3 out of 4. It's tough to sweep 4-game series. Sadly, you did have it in the palm of your hands. But sometimes those things happen. You win 3 or 4. You bounce back the very next day. Michael Lorenzen was your god. And that's all you can ask for. That is all you can ask for. And he gave some much-needed rest for the bullpen. Much needed. Only needed Seranthony in the 9th inning. And he did allow a leadoff single, which I was kind of like, here we go. Here we go. There's the bad thoughts in the back of my mind. But then he dominated the next 3 guys. 1 hit allowed, 1 strikeout, 13 pitches. Nice to see there from Seranthony. Now, he's got 2 saves in his last couple of appearances, so that's, pretty good to see. Maybe he's building some confidence up there. That would be very huge for this bullpen if Seranthony can build some confidence. That would be very huge for this bullpen. Because then you don't have to completely overuse Craig Kimbrell for the 9th inning, because that's the one thing Dave Dombrowski was worried about, and you've kind of been seeing it lately with Craig Kimbrell. He hasn't really been the same locked-in guy as of late. Maybe that goes to the overusage. So it would be nice, when you eventually get Jose Alvarado back, if Seranthony Dominguez can find some confidence, that would get some much nice needed help for Craig Kimbrell. I don't know why I'm getting confused with those words. Much nice needed. Speak English, man. Speak English. Jeez. My God. But with the Kansas City Royals upcoming, they just swept the New York Mets, like I said earlier. So if we're looking at this series entirely, Aaron Nola, who was originally supposed to start today, but Michael Lorenzen came over, he gets to start instead. Nola gets pushed back a day. So stat-wise, Aaron Nola should be good to go for tomorrow because he's better on extra days rest. So we'll definitely see that. So tomorrow night, it's going to be Aaron Nola going up against Jordan Lyles. Jordan Lyles is 2-12 at a 6.15 ERA. Yeah, you should hit him. You should hit him. Then Saturday at 6, it's going to be Christopher Sanchez going up against Alec Marsh. Alec Marsh, he is 0-5 at a 6.75 ERA. Yeah, these Royals pitchers are not good. They're not good. They're not good. They're not good. And then on Sunday, it's going to be Taijuan Walker against Zack Greinke. Jesus Christ, Zack Greinke, 1-11 with a 5.32 ERA. But he did pitch 5 strong innings against the New York Mets. Jesus. 75-year-old Zack Greinke. Jesus. And then for the Washington series, you're going to have Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Michael Lorenzen, and Aaron Nola for that series. All-night games. Josiah Gray, Mackenzie Gore, Patrick Corbin, and Trevor Williams. And then for the Minnesota series, Christopher Sanchez, Taijuan Walker, and Ranger Suarez against Pablo Lopez, a to-be-determined guy, and Sonny Gray. And then you move on after the Minnesota series, after this long homestand, you're going to have technically 5 road games, but one of them is at a neutral site for the Washington Nationals. So 2 games in Toronto, 2 games in Washington, and 1 game against Washington in a neutral site, which I believe is the Little League game in Williamsport. I believe that's where it's at. Then you're going to have another homestand after that. It's going to be a 9-game homestand against the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Angels. Then you go on the road to start September. I won't get into September. Let's just focus on the rest of August at this point. 10-game homestand against some opponents that you should be able to beat. Very easily. Very handily. Especially the Royals and the Nationals. Should be able to do it. I need the bats to wake up this weekend. They should be able to take advantage of this Royals pitching because it's not good. I don't care that the Royals have won 6 games in a row. Let me see the quality of competition that they played to win 6 in a row. They swept the Twins. The Twins, in my opinion, are not that good of a team. The Minnesota Twins, they're 55-54, first place in this AL Central. That division is garbage. I don't care that they swept the Twins. Don't care. The Twins' offense isn't that good. And then if you look at the stretch before that, so many losses. Losing a series to Cleveland, getting swept by the Yankees, losing a series to the Tigers, losing a series to the Rays, losing another series. Like, they're not a good team. They just got hot during the stretch, and they played against a Mets team that basically does not care. Let me look at the scores for these games. Yeah, their offense went off in this series against the Mets. Their offense has definitely been more active in these last 6 games, but it shouldn't matter. They're 35-75. If I look at that in comparable with the Oakland Athletics, they're 5 games better than the Oakland Athletics. They're still on par with that second worst team in baseball. They're not good. You should be able to take advantage of that. And this is a series for the offense to break it, find a way to go over. The offense has to wake up this weekend. Because it should be that case. It should be. Did you guys see Max Scherzer's debut with the Rangers? It didn't start off that good, though. It didn't start off that good in the first few innings. But he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. He finished off strong, but it didn't start off good. I believe like in the first 2 or 3 innings, he allowed those 3 runs, so it wasn't pretty at first. And a lot of hits. It was not pretty at first. But yeah. Definitely not up to par with the debut of Michael Lorenzen. Because Michael Lorenzen is a god. Michael Lorenzen is amazing. You can honestly say, you could probably put him at DH tomorrow if you wanted to. You could probably put him at DH. I'm sure he probably hasn't swung a bat in a little bit. But seriously, I swear, if you put him at DH to do, he'll probably hit 2 home runs in a game. I'm not lying. I am not kidding. I honestly believe that. I wouldn't be shocked if that were to happen. I would not be shocked at all. Honestly, I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see it too. Like, say if the Phillies were blowing out a team, if they were winning like, 12-1 or something like that, and, it's like the 8th inning or something like that, their last chance to bat, if it's like, for, say, Kyle Schwarber or something to get a defensive replacement out in the field, I would pitch hit Kyle Schwarber. I would pitch hit Michael Lorenzen for Kyle Schwarber just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it, That's all. Oh, God. Oh, God. Trey Turner playing. He's not playing like a spoiled brat. He's just not playing good. If you look at his interview from last night, the dude looks like he's on the verge of tears. He's on the verge of tears. Like, I feel bad for him. But he's still got to play better. Like, that's to give it. He's making $30 million. Or $300 million. Gotta be better, man. Gotta be better. Gotta be better. Gotta be better. And who knows, maybe this is a series for Schwarber to go off. Could be. When the world is up with Trey, I don't know. I don't know. The yips. Got a serious case of the yips. I couldn't tell you. No one can explain it. No one can explain this. Honestly, if you look at every shortstop signing this year, honestly, none of them have been good besides Dansby Swanson. That's basically it. Correa has been a nightmare. Bogarts hasn't been electric. And Trey Turner has been a nightmare. Seriously. Like, who would have thought? Out of all the signings, it would have been Dansby Swanson to be the best. Who knows, though? Now, do I think Trey Turner over the course of the contract will be better? Yes. He's too talented not to. But maybe there's a good chance for these guys to bounce back against a not good baseball team in the Kansas City Royals. It's a good chance. But let's go to the Anytime hotline here. You can leave those thoughts at 215-839-9885. We did get some calls last night after the stream ended. I do appreciate the guys that did leave those voicemails. So maybe we can get to some of those because we got one right here from Mark. And then we got another one talking about Trey Turner. So let's play Sean's first, and then maybe a little bit later we'll get into the other calls. So let's play Sean's first. So let's see what good old Sean has to say.
MVP of this game, Dave Dombrowski. Talk about making a move that paid immediate dividends. I mean, what a performance by Michael Lorenzen. What more could you have asked for? And it's a good thing he gave it because I think both teams were comatose from the effort last night. It was as if they both had an early plane to catch and they just wanted to get the hell out of there. But Michael Lorenzen, great job. I mean, I wish they would have let him finish it, but I guess, they checked with him and maybe he was tiring. But, and I'm making a slight comparison here, and in no way am I comparing the two ability-wise.
Oh, boy.
But as I watched him pitch, I was getting Roy Halladay vibes. I mean, effortless delivery, basically, here it is, hit it, totally in command, never looked rattled at all during that game. Great job. Now, lineup-wise, Rob Thompson, we got some issues. We all know what they are. And we got to figure out what the deal is with the lack of usage with Craig Kimbrell. I'm glad Dominguez once again came through, and hopefully he's bouncing back. But I think I've had enough of the resting of Craig Kimbrell. If they don't make the playoffs, he'll have all off season to rest his arm.
Comparing Michael Lorenzen to Roy Halladay. Sean. Sean. Come on. Michael Lorenzen is 20 times better than Roy Halladay was. Jeez, I feel bad for saying that, honestly. Rest in peace, Roy Halladay. Rest in peace. Jesus. Like, seriously, I was just waiting for the comparison. Then I heard Roy Halladay. What? What? Like, I know you're saying you weren't doing a straight up like one-on-one comparison, but it's just like, jeez, we went that far. Oh, love you, Sean. Love you, Sean. But yeah, another trade maybe that works out right now from Dave Dombrowski. It worked out today. Michael Lorenzen was as advertised for this game. And he'll definitely be a huge stretch for you down the year. He definitely will be. Because we all know the main goal of this team was to get, Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler more rest. Because we all know how much those two just ran out of it in the playoffs last year. So you extend to a 6-man rotation. And you get some extra day of rest for some of these guys, which would work dividends. But Honestly, for Aaron Nola, we have no idea at this point. But yeah. But yes. Michael Lorenzen, the new ace, and the best power hitter of the staff. Honestly. Like I said, I really want to see him pick up a bat if the Phillies are like blowing out a team one day. I really want to see it. I really want to see that, honestly, because it would be fun to watch. It would be very fun to watch. Just for him to pick up a bat, go out there if it's like 13-2, swing it. Honestly, I wouldn't doubt if he hits a home run. Wouldn't doubt if he hits a home run at that swing. Would not doubt it one bit. How many career home runs does he even have? I want to see that. Lorenzen career home runs. He has 7. He has 7 career home runs. Why not make it 8? Why not make it 9? Why not make it 10? That would be fantastic if that was the case. It would be very fantastic. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me get to some of you guys in the comment section here. I probably won't play these voicemails. I do appreciate these guys for leaving them, though. I do very appreciate that. I do got some stuff to do after this, though, so I'm going to get to you guys in the comments, and then I'll end off the stream. Dave, how you doing? Yes, not negative today. Gonna throw it yesterday in the trash. You took 3 out of 4. That's the most important thing. Most important thing. Yeah, Lorenzen was just very efficient. Very efficient today. He was fantastic. Lineup is still no doubt. Lineup is still going to be a major cause for concern unless these guys start to hit consistently. That's going to be always the biggest question mark. Always going to be. DH Lorenzen Friday night? Honestly, I would. Honestly, I would. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Trey Turner is trying to pull everything, forgot how to hit. Could be a case. Could be a problem. Maybe Trey should get a bunt in his first at bat, get an infield single, and steal some bags. The best part of today did not have to watch Aaron Nola implode in a must-win game. Oh, God. I think that's the perfect spot to end it off here. I think that's the perfect time to end it off. That comment right there by Sean, that's the perfect spot to end it off there. Didn't have to watch Aaron Nola implode in a must-win game. Honestly, I kind of agree with that. So, honestly, not kind of, definitely agree with that. I definitely do. So, that's going to do it for today, everybody. Phillies got a nice series win. And that's the most important thing. Now they got 10 games at home against teams that they should be able to beat. 7-3. That's what I'm asking for. 7-3 during this homestand. That's very fair to ask. And they should be capable of doing that. Well, we got to see. So, thank you for joining today, everybody. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Just surpassed 800. Let's keep it growing, and let's get closer to 900, and then closer to 1,000. I believe in you guys. I love every one of you for hitting that subscribe button. So, if you're new, definitely I recommend hitting it. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SEATGEEK. Great deal. Don't pass it up if you want to go to any of these next 10 Phillies home games. Use it. Great deal. So, thank you once again.